I tried. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's a crapshoot.
This is a moody one.
This is a very dark review.
Hang on.
Way darker than our Dark Crimes review.
This video needs a little more Sarah.
That's what the commenters say.
Yeah.
So we got out of book club. We were originally gonna go see this at the newer theater in town where they remodeled it and put in the like the reclining seats.
I think like overstuffed recliner easy boy type seats.
Yeah.
And I was so looking forward to us like, just kick like Joey and Chandler and have, like, a martini apiece watching book club. And it was sold out.
It was. They that theater that theater also has a bar in it too, so really it is the best theater in town. We could have gone and seen this movie. But yeah, I got there and it was when the screen came up to pick the seats, and all the seats were like black, so I thought it meant that it was an empty theater.
Nope.
Quite the opposite, actually. Boom, this seat is unavailable. And there were a couple of ladies in front of me in the other line, and she was like, "Oh yeah, sorry, it's all sold out." But there was, it looked like it was maybe in one of the smaller theaters, so I think maybe about 20 people would have sold out that theater. So I called you and was like, "Well, it's all sold out." And you asked me too, like, did you get tickets in advance? I was like, I didn't think I'd have to with this movie. I guess I should. I mean, it is $5 Tuesdays, and we were at the theater with a bar in it and reclining seats. So like, well, maybe I should have thought in advance to go see book club on Tuesday night.
You ran into Irving and Shai in the lobby, and I was telling him it felt like that part in A Fish Called Wanda where he just like screams to this guy like, "Disappointed!"
Yeah. Didn't that also happen when you went to go see Magic Mike? Like it was sold out or something, so you had to see it like on another night with Jillian?
Man, that sounds familiar.
I'm trying to think of the last time that's happened. Where
I do remember that because normally we would not have sent Jillian to see Magic Mike. It's not her kind of movie.
Yeah, and Dave and I were at the Katy Perry movie. I remember that. So I was like, well, there's a 7:15 over at the regular theater. We could drive across town to the regular theater, or we could go see it tomorrow night. And you gave Dave a call in which he was mostly laughing at you.
Well, because I was leaving the house this afternoon. I'm like, yeah, we're going to see it in the fancy theater. He's like, oh, I want to see a movie in the fancy theater. I'm like, hey. So I called him. I'm like, so I'm going to be home a little late because the theater's all sold out. And he's like, ha, ha, ha. Like, all right, I'll wait till he's done.
That's when you go, yeah, well, at least it ain't show dogs. Click.
That's true. That should be my comeback for like everything.
For everything.
From now until perpetuity.
At least it wasn't show dogs. So it was also packed at this theater as well.
We were easily the youngest people there.
Oh, totally. Which usually just happens when Dave and I go see the Christian movies. So we were in a packed house at this theater too, and book club stars Candice Bergen, Jane Fonda, Diane Keaton, and Mary Steenburgen. And the movie's a sitcom. It is a sitcom. It is sitcom jokes, it's sitcom scenarios, it's double entendres, puns, sex jokes throughout it. Some dialogue that's straight up porn dialogue in this.
Yeah, she's like
in this
reading out loud from the 50 Shades book.
Yeah, it's a movie that in its climax combines both a dance recital and racing to the airport, like all in the same movie. And look, I mean, I don't know, like, I realize this movie isn't for everyone. Like, I know people who went to go see this and really didn't like this movie very much. But I don't care. I love the hell out of this fucking movie.
I enjoyed it too. Like, I didn't find it to be so much sitcom-y. It's just like 4 rom-coms mashed together.
Yeah.
It was all like the, you know, super smart, successful women, and, you know, their lives are just fine, except they're missing one thing, and that thing is romance/sex.
Yeah.
And then they, you know, they each sort of find it in their own way. And like I said, it's got the racing to the airport.
Oh,
scene.
yeah.
It's got like the danger side where he like comes up on stage, like to dance with
Uh-huh.
her. It's like this huge revelatory moment. And you know, it's it was a little generic, but I thought the jokes were
It
good enough
is.
to carry it, and I really liked that they just did it straight. You know, it wasn't a
Yeah.
whole lot of like, I like sex even though I'm old jokes.
I mean, no, at the end of the day, I thought this movie was hilarious. Like, it is obvious
It's like a Golden
jokes.
Girls movie.
That's exactly what I mean. Like, when I'm saying it's like a sitcom, like, it's Golden Girls meets Sex in the City.
Yeah.
Like, there are those kind of punchlines in this movie. I mean, Candice Bergen, by far and away, is the Dorothy of this film.
Yes.
Um,
Well, we were saying that at the preview.
Oh, yeah,
too,
and
'cause
it's-
she's Dorothying the shit out of it.
It's true when you see the movie too, because yeah, it is jokes that you would find in an old sitcom. But I love old sitcoms, so I'm like, I don't know, like it was working for me because it's got these actresses in the movie who can fucking throw a line, who can,
And they could all carry a movie on their own. and have.
yeah.
But you know, they're doing fantastic as an ensemble too.
Yeah.
And, like I was drawing like parallel because like Candice Bergen was kind of the Dorothy.
Yeah,
Jane Fonda was kind of the Blanche
Yeah.
slash Kim Cattrall.
Samantha, yeah.
Mary Steenburgen was sort of the Rose because she was
I
that
could
sort of
see
like flighty, silly character. And then Diane Keaton was just Annie Hall.
Diane Keaton's Diane Keaton. She just is Annie Hall in real life. Her name in the movie is Diane.
Yeah. I love it when they can do that, and I always wonder if it's because so like the actor doesn't have to learn how to like respond to a different name.
Well, you're kind of
Ha la di da.
You're kind of playing yourself here. Like, we'll just call you Diane. Fine, that works out. No, yeah, it is. It's they're just really good at delivering these lines, these one-liners that in incapable hands would fall flat. But there's something about the chemistry that they have with each other that just makes it work in a way that a 30-year-old sitcom would. That it is a comfort film. It is. And the audience, I mean, it helps too the fact the audience was
They were into it.
1,000% into this movie. And that was fun.
I like it because Richard Dreyfuss shows up as like a reveal where
Yeah.
Candice Bergen's on like a blind date and she's like, oh yeah, he's a blind tax accountant, and then she turns the corner. It's just little Richard Dreyfuss sitting there just twinkling away, and the
Yeah.
whole audience goes, aww.
They all have, I mean, those two have good chemistry together in their scene. The punchline in that scene is really, really funny. Mary Steenburgen and Craig
Coach.
T. Nelson, and Coach, he might as well be playing Hayden again in this film. Like, they're good together in it. Don Johnson and Jane Fonda. Andy Garcia is charming up the fuck
Those
in
two
this
were
movie.
my favorite. They
Yeah.
were fucking adorable.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Andy... God damn, it was good to see Andy Garcia in a movie like this, because the last few movies that I've seen him in have been such a waste of Andy Garcia. I mean, Passengers, where he just comes out at the end and has no lines. Remember the ending of Passengers where they all wake up and he's like the guy who's standing there and comes out and is like, huh? Credits.
That was him?
That was him.
I was too focused on
Yeah.
the fucking tree fort that they built. It's
Oh,
like
he was-
you're living on a spaceship. Whatever. We're not talking about Passengers.
We're talking about a much more satisfying... God,
When
the
even had like the meet cute, like that quintessential, like she like, oh no, and she falls over and it's
Yeah.
like into Andy Garcia's
Yeah.
life. He's like, ooh, how charming.
Yeah. It's a movie that 1,000% will work for its audience. I mean, I'm not the target audience for this movie. I had a blast
Yeah, it
watching
worked for
this
me.
thing. I mean, granted, I love the things that this movie is reminding me of. I love Golden Girls. I love Sex and the City. And like, if you're really into those, go see this. I don't know how many people watching this review are gonna like this movie, let alone go see it. But I hope you do, because I had a really good time at the film.
Yeah, and like the opening scene, they're all just like talking about how sad their vaginas are and like wishing they were having sex, and it was just like explaining to you right out the gate, like this is the kind of movie this is.
Yeah.
We're not gonna like tiptoe around and talk about vaginas because we've got vaginas. We've had vaginas for some time and have been talking about them for about that amount of time. So buckle up.
It is unapologetic in the double entendres it's using in this film, to the point to where I'm like, it goes so far in that direction and it does it with a straight face that I'm like, I respect every dirty joke in this. There's a montage where they're reading 50 Shades of Grey where Mary Steenburgen is
like
watering
a plant.
her plants, and
They're like, oh wow.
that
There's like a little, there's like a stick coming out of the plant that says like moisture detector with a little like gauge on it, and it goes ding, 100% moisture.
it goes between wet and moisture is what it. Craig T. Nelson comes in talking about his motorcycle and the shaft on it while he's holding a banana. God.
Oh, he's just cracking up. But the first part of that scene was just watching the faces of the four women as they're like watching him do this, not realizing that they've just been talking about sex and how much he's not having sex with his wife right now.
It's porn dialogue, but it was fucking funny.
You know, wax up her saddle. You know, she's got a little sag, but she's still got a beautiful chassis. And Mary Steenburgen's like,
when she puts Viagra in his drink,
I have a problem with.
I
Taste
don't.
that? Have you I've never tried Viagra, but I have to assume it's got a taste to it, especially if you're dissolving it in beer. So he goes, he takes a huge swig, and you expect him to be like, "Are there pills in this?"
I don't think Laura's put Viagra in my
Well, apparently
drink.
it's tasteless and odorless and dissolves immediately in beer, so she might very well have.
With like these boner jokes where the argument they have over it, and he's got his steel heart on and bumps into the wall as he goes away angry.
And they're like in the middle of a huge fight, and so like she plays that perfectly because she kind of just like slumps over the table and she's trying really hard not to laugh because she knows she's in trouble.
Yeah, and their dance too, like where they have to tap dance and the wrong song plays and it's Meatloaf, so the big climatic song is to a Meatloaf song, and even you don't see the part where he finds out that there's Viagra in the drink because it cuts to some other stuff, so it's puts the Viagra in and then cuts to the car. Like, I can't believe you put Viagra in my drink. You poisoned me.
I'm sorry. I love that dancing scene too, because like she comes out and you expect her to be like super embarrassed, but turns she's gonna like tap dance she did when she was in like preschool that she was talking earlier about, like remembering all the choreography for. And then I would do anything for love, parentheses, but I won't do that, close parentheses. And she's like, all right, she just starts doing the dance, and she's so cute and sexy in that moment.
Oh
it's
yeah.
It's like it's a real, it's kind of like it's a really well played rom-com moment.
It is. Yeah, and it's a rom-com moment that, I mean, you've seen in movies before,
sometimes
certainly,
it's good,
but
sometimes it's bad. It was just so good.
Yeah, sometimes it's just funny. Sometimes it just works because the actors are really selling it. I mean, there's technical things I could easily say about this movie, but no one who goes to see this movie is gonna care. Like, I mean, sure, there is. I mean, it's not the most well-made movie in the world. There's obvious green screening going on in a lot of it,
Sometimes
but
you're doing like close-ups on Diane Keaton, and there's this sort of like greasy smear across the camera lens.
Yeah.
It almost makes she almost in that moment looked like the Count Dooku Fake 'Em Up from the Star Wars movie. They like so I don't even know what that effect would be called.
Soft focus.
Yeah, they so soft focused her that it kind of looked like her face was made of CGI. But like stuff like that it jumped out in the moment, but it didn't take me out of the movie because I was just so engaged.
Me too, because like, I mean, there are rooftop scenes where the green screening looks like the rooftop scenes from The Room. But I'm like, I didn't notice that. I mean, I'm like, it's still funny. I mean, it's like, complaining about this movie about that is like complaining that a sitcom looks like a set. I mean,
Yeah, you
whatever.
know what you're getting into.
Like, it's fine.
I have one valid quibble, and it's just that so they each have their own little plot lines, and Diane Keaton's is that, like, she never figured out what she wanted to do with her life, and then she got pregnant, so she kind of was just, like, a career mom. And so then at the end of her life, she met this guy, and she wanted to kind of, like, go off and have a new adventure.
Yeah.
But her daughters are being so, like, cartoonishly patronizing and stifling that it made it seem less like a conflict and more like she was like a prisoner, and I can't feel like that's what they were going for, because you could tell that these people loved each other. They were supposed to love each other, but the daughters were saying shit like, I don't like that you drove yourself here by yourself. You could have killed someone. The fact that you don't know you could have killed someone is just so scary. It's like,
she can
this
obviously
woman obviously
function.
has her faculties. She's she's fucking fine.
She's fine. She's not in her late 90s. She's not. Yeah, she clearly can take care of herself.
Yeah.
Like, she clearly can function fine. I 1,000% agree with you. That was my least favorite part of this movie.
Dude should, like, call her and be like, you were supposed to check in with us. You said that you'd call after dinner. She's like, I'm just finishing dinner. It's, and, like, there's a scene where they lose track of her for, like, less than 24 hours. They fucking call the cops and, like, track her down off her phone's GPS. It was cartoonish, and I didn't like it.
The punchline to that, with the line that, like, the husband has, was, like, funny when he goes in there and, like, introduces himself to Andy Garcia. Like, I liked that part, but my least favorite part of this movie was the two daughters. It's Alicia Silverstone, and I don't know who the other one was, but...
Not Malin Bialik. What is her name? She's the hot wife from The League.
Oh, I don't know. I've seen that like maybe once or twice.
Yeah, she's generally speaking a good comedic actress. I think she was wasted in this role. Or they could have at least made an attempt to humanize those two characters.
They're not humanized at all. They are just... You're right in that they're monsters and the movie doesn't realize it, because I feel if the movie realized it, Diane Keaton would have probably told them off harder than she did.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
When it got to that moment where she does have this monologue to him.
And her monologue wasn't about setting boundaries, which is what it needed to be.
You're right.
It was about
exactly
how, like,
right.
older people are people too, and it's like, yeah, that's true, but that's not these girls' problem.
No, it's
these girls'
not.
problem is that they're, stifling monsters.
Yeah, in a movie that's filled with a lot of cartoony jokes and situations, those two were cartoony in a sense that wasn't good. It was just
gross.
those two were just two-dimensional antagonists, and it was... Anytime it cut to them, I was like, I don't like this. I can already tell they're not going to do anything else with these two characters. And really, they're not in the movie that much. Like, yeah, they are a big part of Diane Keaton's storyline, but a majority of her stuff is with Andy Garcia, and those scenes really worked, especially a lot of the plane gags that they have together and everything. There's, like, running gags in it about, like, plane crash jokes and those were funny. Yeah,
the girls, they had, like, a revelatory moment at, like, the very end, but it wasn't the right revelation,
Yeah, you're right.
Her mom was like, I've still got some life to live, I'm gonna go, doink my boyfriend, and they could have had, like, an actual moment where they got to know each other better as people, but they said they ran out after, and they're like, Mom, have fun. And it was like, you're still being shitty, she's still not a child.
Yeah, no, that should have ended with Diane Keaton bopping him on the head with a newspaper, honestly. Yeah, clunk. But, I mean, you're right, that was the biggest issue I also had with this film. But, aside from that, it was just a good time.
It was. I laughed so many more times than I did at the last comedy movie we went and saw. And I think that was Deadpool 2.
Yeah, I laughed more at the last comedy I saw, which was Show Dogs.
That does not count as a comedy.
That's all right. I'm pretty sure it doesn't count as a movie either. Yeah, so I recommend this movie. If from the trailer, I do like that they acknowledge how trash the books are in this film.
Yeah.
And they don't care. They're reading it because it is trash. They're reading it
because the trash is because that's what they do together.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
how they're friends with each other. And so that they read the books and they can talk about it.
Yeah.
And they stay in each other's lives. I thought that was really cool.
I did too, because I mean, it's like when we watch trash movies and talk about it with each other afterwards. Like, at no point in this are they talking about. I mean, aside from doing it on camera, like aside from going to see a movie, talking about it on camera, but like,
No, you finish your thought.
But no, like, yeah, they perfectly say in this movie, like, we're not reading these books because they are fucking high art. Like, this is easily the only good movie to come out of that franchise.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. But like, we talk about movies on our own steam. Earlier today, I was trying to think, that was a movie that I watched with Brad that one time, and all I can remember about it is that it had a song in the soundtrack about greasy neon, and so I was texting you like, what's this? And you're like, oh yeah, that's fucking Vice Squad.
Yeah, Neon Slime, that's Vice, sung by Wings Hauser. That's a great fucking movie.
That's like one of the harder Sarah's brain puzzles, and I think you passed it with flying colors.
It took me a minute, because at first I thought you were talking about a musical, so I was like...
You're sort of like, oh, it's Grease.
Yeah, I know, I was being a smart ass. They were like, oh, you're thinking of Grease, obviously.
Yeah,
it's sure. Grease Lightning, not Greasy Slime. But when I realized when I realized you weren't talking about a musical, I was like, oh, okay, Neon Slime. Yeah. Vice Squad's a great fucking movie, by the way.
I look up the lyrics, because I was like, how 80s is this? And some of the lyrics is, bang, bang, shoot 'em up, talking about crime. Yeah. People getting lost in the neon slime.
That's like the opening credit music,
That's some
too.
Deep shit, Wings.
That movie's deep. So watch yourself, Vice Squad. Watch Book Club. I mean, practically the same film.
And then watch the other one that I Googled, because I couldn't remember what it was, and it was, Hard to Kill.
The Steven Seagal movie?
Yeah, because I was trying to remember which was the one where he said, I'll take it to the bank, Senator. The blood bank.
My favorite part of that scene is he's saying that in a room alone by himself.
Completely by himself to a TV commercial that happens to be playing.
No, the last time I saw that movie was when I watched it with you and Brian. We had our Seagal marathon. Yep,
the Seagal-a-thon.
No, I recommend this movie. I had a good time watching it. No, the movie's not for everyone. There are plenty of you out there that would probably hate this film.
I feel like if you unironically enjoy The Golden Girls, you'd like this movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. Like, I mean, you can get a taste from the trailer of what this movie is.
Yeah, although the best jokes aren't in the trailer. So, if you like the trailer, alright, but you found it a little cheesy, they put all the cheesy ones in the trailer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, the movie's got F-bombs in it. Well, it's got an F-bomb and a half.
Yeah, because they cough over one of them. And then the other F-bomb they have is because Candice Bergen is quoting 50 Shades of Grey.
Because even though he found love, even though he's 50 Shades of fucked up.
And then they're like, time for the sequel.
Yay!
I hope there's a sequel to this film.
I would have liked to see their reaction to the third book, because that's the one with, like, the weird kidnapping...
Yeah.
Stealing money from the bank subplot.
Again, maybe there will be a sequel to this film in which they read the third book.
Book Club 2. We find out what their reaction is to the third book.
Any other final thoughts about the movie?
Nope.
Me neither. I had a great time watching this movie.
It's charming as shit. I am interested to see, because I think you said that Matthew didn't much care.
He hated this movie.
So I kind of want to go and watch his review now that I've watched this movie to see what his problem was, because I thought it was adorable.
Here's your problem. You didn't go see it with the right audience.
Yeah, you went too late at night. You were too sleepy.
You didn't sneak in any boxed wine into the theater.
That's what we should have done.
Yeah.
They were drinking wine throughout the entirety of this movie. Like, literally, it was like Brad Pitt in Ocean's 11, but with wine glasses.
Mm-hmm. Oh, non-stop throughout the film, which again seemed appropriate because there might have been some drunk people in that audience. There were in every 50 Shades movie we went to go see.
Would have been drunk people like, we got to go to a good theater.
Yeah, at least we wouldn't have to sneak anything in. There's a bar at that theater. Should we do trailers?
Yeah, we'll have to be slightly less lit because I had to put them on my phone. I'll just shout it at you guys while I read it.
Perfect.
Technology.
Loading.
Adrift.
Oh, that was a new trailer for Adrift, though, so at least I appreciated that. I'll say this about that trailer for Adrift was a little more intense than the first trailer.
Yeah, and it made it a little more clear that she knows how to sail, which I appreciate, because the usual trailer that we get makes her look like she doesn't know about sailing. Which makes it a little less believable that she, like, manages the boat all by herself.
I hope it is all a prequel to Me Before You.
After all that, you can't find his lease on life. Whatever. That's the reason his legs are all messed up, is because he broke them in the sea. Mm-hmm. Searching?
That was the
that
John Cho one. It looks like a better type of movie than that Unfriended movie that Dave and I went to, that Skype horror film. Mm-hmm. This is like John Cho's daughter goes missing, but it's all
He's doing like all this detective work via social media, and it looks like it's starting to turn out that she was missing for way longer than he thought she was, because he lost kind of touch with her since she went away to college, and he thought that he was keeping track of her via social media, but a lot of it might have been faked. Yeah,
it looked intense, because it all looked like it was from the POV of his computer, so you see like chat logs, Skype. It looks like it's doing that gimmick, but much better and more interesting than Unfriended did. Mm-hmm. I mean, at least the trailer was cut together really well.
Yeah, the trailer made me full of dread, because it was that sort of thought of like, what if you went missing and, you know, whoever probably killed you was using your social media to make it look like you were still fine and everything was good, and so no one knew that you were gone. Mm-hmm. And that's brutal.
Yeah, I'm curious to see that. That looked really interesting.
Mm-hmm. I am super not gonna see that movie.
Dave and I saw Unfriended. Maybe we'll go see that.
Yay! And then we got Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. This was a different trailer again. This one had a different take from the scene where he's like, I told Bill, and I told Jeff, and I told many people. Yeah,
there was different line reads in this trailer. And is Cher playing herself in this film?
No.
Like,
because there's a scene where they say like, oh, you're a great grandma, and I misheard her, and so I turned to you, and you're like, oh, she said I'm not gonna put that one in my bio. Mm-hmm. So if she's not playing like Cher, I think she's probably playing like a Cher analog, where she's supposed to be like sort of a famous person.
And that like Diane Keaton was kind of playing herself in a lot of movies.
Which would make sense, because like you have to be a certain level of rich to graduate from college and then just go like run an inn in fucking Italy.
Oh yeah, well, we got to see the first one first.
Yeah, we're gonna be completely lost if we try watching the second one without watching the first one.
Probably, honestly.
But you told Laura that we were gonna watch it, and she said, "Oh, that movie's terrible."
Yeah, I leaned over to her. I was like, "We got the trailer for it in front of the Life of the Party," and I leaned over and was like, oh yeah, Sarah and I we plan on watching the first movie, and Laura just slowly turns, it's awful.
Well, you said you got nothing going on tomorrow night, and it's definitely on streaming, so let's make a date.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm totally down.
Can You Ever Forgive Me? So that was the Melissa McCarthy one.
That looks good.
She's like forging notes.
I've gotten that. Is this your first time getting that trailer?
Yeah.
I've gotten it quite a few times, and when Irving and I got it in front of Life of the Party, we were both like, wish this was the Melissa McCarthy movie we were watching, not the one we're about to see.
It looked good, and I liked that they kind of like yucked her up a little bit.
Yeah.
Me and David, we saw the preview for Ant-Man and the Wasp earlier, and it was one of those things where it's like, what's that guy supposed to be? What's that guy supposed to be? And it's like you can see sort of a glimpse of the bad guy, and he's like, I think that might be Ghost, and they're making Ghost a girl, in which case I hope they make her gross, because apparently Ghost is a dude, and he's like super gross in the comic book, and I'm like, that's not gonna happen. Girls aren't allowed to be gross in movies. There's like monster, and that's about it.
Just monster.
Just monster. That's the only one.
No, I think it's. You said this when that trailer got out. It is one. I do think the movie looks really good, but it is one of those trailers where it's like, okay, I've just seen about every act in this film.
Yeah, it felt like Roman J. Israel Esquire.
Oh, yeah.
And that the preview was pretty much the entire fucking movie.
Yeah, I honestly kind of feel that way about the Adrift trailer as well. Like, I feel like I've seen about all of this movie right now.
Yeah, at least with Adrift, you're like, maybe they will die out at sea and they won't make it to Hawaii. Whereas this one, it's like she's poor, and she finds a note, and she tries to sell it, and she won't get enough money for it, but they're like, if it's more interesting, I'll, give you more money for it. And she just takes it home and puts it in Tupperware and interests it up.
Yeah.
And then they're like, here's a bunch of money. And then it shows, like, cuts of her, like, making interesting notes. And then it's like, oh no, the cops are here. And then it shows her, like, at trial.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. It's the best days of my life. And it's like, that's gotta be the end of the movie, right?
Yeah, it's like I've at the least seen what every arc is, or every act is going to be in this film. I mean, I still want to see it, especially her in that type of movie. I'm
just missing the scene where she goes and buys like a maple bacon donut and then waters.
Well, we're also missing the scene where she joins up with a puppet cop and there's a giant cum shot with silly string.
So I looked up Sunnytime Murders. Apparently that movie's been, like, they've been trying to make it for a while.
Yeah.
Because I found a preview for it from, like, 2012, where it was just him in an interrogation room just blowing smoke in a guy's ass. It was the same puppet.
Yeah.
So that does not bode well, I feel.
Was it made years ago, or they were just trying to pitch it years ago?
I think that they were starting to make it years ago, and they had to stop for some reason. And now they're starting again.
I saw some stuff about that in the comments, too, but getting that trailer was the first I'd heard of it.
I mean, like, Psychonauts is one of my favorite video games of all time, and it had a sort of a similar problem where they started to make it, and then they, like, had to stop, and some different studio bought it, and it ended up being released, like, 5 years behind schedule. Yeah. And it was still good, but I feel like that's in the minority.
Sure. Yeah, well, this movie could be the Duke Nukem Forever of movies.
Shake it, baby! That's my Duke Nukem impression. Because that was my favorite part of the game, is, like, they've got, like, the strippers up at the pole, and you can, like, do the money, and it goes, shake it, baby! And I just stand there doing that for, like, 5 minutes. Shake it, baby!
I'm sure that line is also in that movie.
And then I drew a picture of a flower, because I got bored during the Ocean's 8 preview.
Oh, yeah, we got that trailer plenty of times.
It just looks the same, is it?
Yeah, it's not a new trailer for that.
The Mission Impossible Fallout, which is, again, the same trailer, but I had way more fun during that one.
Oh, yeah. I love that fucking trailer. There is a new trailer for that out now, too, but that's still the first trailer for it that came out. So, maybe the newest trailer will be in front of Solo in a couple of days.
I wrote down the lyrics to the song that's playing in the background, so I can see if I can find it on Spotify. Can't fight the friction!
Oh, yeah. That is a good song. It
I'm
remixes the Mission Impossible theme.
Yeah, it's kind of 90s jock rocky, but like in a fun way.
Yeah, I'm so excited for this movie.
We will see that one in the lounge chairs with a martini apiece.
Oh hell yeah! So we're doing Mamma Mia, and Dave and I got Solo on Thursday. I don't know if there's any like counter programming coming out to Solo. I have no idea.
It doesn't seem like it'd be a smart move.
Well, I mean, there's always a show dogs.
There's always a show dogs.
I've learned that lesson the hard way.
Put that shit on a t-shirt.
Yeah. Oh god, yeah. Might as well. I'm wearing a Dark Universe shirt right now.
Bye, guys.